This is news just in. Pakistan Armed Forces triumph in Operation Bunyan Marsoos. This is to put it out there for all the viewers of PTV World HD that Pakistan Armed Forces have triumphed in the Operation Bunyan Marsoos. News just in. The Marka-e-Haq Pakistan responds decisively to the Indian aggression. The Marka-e-Haq Pakistan responds decisively to the Indian aggression. And this is news just in that Pakistan has been victorious in this war against India. The conduct of Pakistan Armed Forces Operation Bunyan Marsoos on 10th May 2025 as part of the military conflict Marka-e-Haq was in response to the Indian military's dastardly attacks that began on the night of 6th and 7th May 2025. Resulting in the loss of innocent civilian lives, including women and children, and of course the elderly as well. Pakistan had vowed justice and retribution for the reprehensible Indian military aggression and brutal killings of our citizens. Alhamdulillah, Pakistan have achieved this target, that they have responded decisively to the Indian aggression that took place on these dates. The BrahMos and the S-400 facilities and sites have also been neutralized by Pakistan. This is news just in. This is the official report. The BrahMos storage sites and the S-400 defense systems have also been taken down. Pakistan have decisively responded to the Indian aggression on the said dates. This is news just in. Pakistan's response, precise and proportionate, restrained attacks, rather response on towards India. And we have been joined by our correspondent Fahad Nissan. Yes, Fahad, what do you have to say about this official response of the ISPR?
Rafi, Pakistan Armed Forces have issued a statement to extend their deep gratitude towards the entire nation, and they titled it as a Marka-e-Haq, which is the battle for truth. It was not just a military campaign, it was a principled response to unprovoked aggression and assertion of Pakistan's unwavering commitment to justice, sovereignty, and the sanctity of innocent lives. The conduct of Pakistan Armed Forces Operation Bunyan Marsoos on 10th May this year as part of the military conflict Marka-e-Haq was in response to Indian military's dastardly attacks that began on the night of 6 and 7 this year, resulting in the loss of innocent lives, including women, children, and the elderly. Pakistan had vowed justice and retribution for the reprehensible Indian military aggression and brutal killings of our citizens. The Pakistan Armed Forces said in their message that Alhamdulillah, Pakistan Armed Forces have delivered the promise made to our people. Armed Forces thanks Almighty Allah for His infinite blessings, mercy, help, and divine support. Allah has ordained the believers to retaliate whenever they are wronged. We bow our heads to Him in utmost humility for enabling us to translate our resolve into decisive actions on the battlefield. Our hearts and sympathies are with the wards and families of the Shuhada who sacrificed their lives for the beloved country. They further stated in their message they prayed for the quick recovery of their injured countrymen, and they extended their heartful gratitude to every officer, soldier, airman, and sailor of the armed forces of Pakistan who made this success on the battlefield possible through their courage, professionalism, and sacrifice. The armed forces of Pakistan expressed their profound appreciation and gratitude to the brave Pakistani nation whose unwavering moral strength, resolve, and above all, wholehearted support and prayers remained with them during these trying times. This support was indeed the most potent force multiplier for the armed forces of Pakistan. They further stated in the message that they are especially indebted to the youth of Pakistan who became the frontline soldier as the cyber and information warriors of the country. Profound gratitude is also due to the vibrant media of Pakistan, which stood like Bunyan Marsoos, a steel wall against the Indian media's disinformation blitz and reckless warmongering. They also extended their appreciation to the diplomatic corps for effectively representing Pakistan's just case on international fora with clarity and conviction. They expressed gratitude to their scientists and engineers for developing indigenous and specialized niche technologies that were instrumental and the magnificent success of Operation Bunyan Marsoos. Armed forces are extremely grateful to the political leadership of all political parties without any distinction for the show of unified resolve in our support for the defense of our motherland. The armed forces are specifically grateful to the inspiring leadership of the Prime Minister of Pakistan and his cabinet ministers for taking destiny-altering decisions for the country and steering it through this critical situation. Pakistan's response was a textbook demonstration of integrated tri-service jointness enabled by real-time situational awareness, network-centric warfare capabilities, and seamless multi-domain operations. This synergy across air, land, sea, and cyber domains allowed for precision engagement, overwhelming lethality, and lightning operational tempo. All platforms operated in synergy, delivering coordinated effects at carefully selected decisive points. Using precision-guided long-range Fateh series missiles F-1 and F-2 of Pakistan Army, precision munitions of Pakistan Air Force, highly capable long-range loitering killer munitions and precision long-range artillery, 26 military targets as well as facilities that were used to target Pakistani citizens and those enterprises that were responsible for fomenting terrorism in Pakistan were engaged in Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir and also mainland India. The statement further made it clear the targets included Air Force and aviation bases at Suratgarh, Sirsa, Bhoj, Nalia, Adampur, Bhatinda, Barnala, Halwara, Awantipura, Srinagar, Jammu, Udhampur, Mamoon, Ambala, and Pathankot, all of which sustained major damages. BrahMos storage facilities at Beas and Nagrota were also destroyed, which had fired missiles on Pakistan, killing innocent civilians, including women, children, and elderly. S-400 battery system at Adampur and Bhoj were also attacked and effectively neutralized by Pakistan Air Force. Military logistics and sports sites which helped sustain this unlawful operation against innocent Pakistani civilians like field supply depot at Uri and radar station at Poonch were also targeted effectively. Military command headquarters which helped plan the operational killing of our innocent citizens, especially the children, including 10 BDE and 80 BDE at KG Top and Nowshera, were completely destroyed, decimated, and annihilated. Facilities which harbored trained and capacitated proxy elements that perpetrated terrorist attacks inside Pakistan and killed innocent civilians were specifically identified and destroyed. These include intelligence units and the forward field elements at Rajodi and Nowshera. Across the line of control, military elements including headquarters, logistic bases, artillery positions, and posts that had caused civilian casualties in Azad Jammu and Kashmir through unprovoked artillery and small arms fire were relentlessly targeted and heavily damaged until they raised their flags and asked for restraint. India used drones to violate Pakistani airspace to intimidate our civilians and spread fear. All through operations Bunyan Marsoos, dozens of Pakistani armed forces hovered over Indian major cities and sensitive political and government facilities, including their capital New Delhi, and from Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir all the way to Gujarat to clearly manifest our lethal long-range unmanned capability, indicating the futility of the use of this domain in warfare. Pakistan Armed Forces also carried out comprehensive and effective cyber operations to temporarily cripple and degrade critical infrastructure and services that were being used by Indian armed forces to sustain their operations. Pakistan Armed Forces possesses an adequate suite of very sophisticated niche military technologies, and only a limited number and type were used with restraint in this conflict. Despite all this, compared to Indian relentless provocations, Pakistan's military's response has been precise, proportionate, and still remarkably restrained. It was carefully calibrated to avoid civilian casualties and exclusively targeted those entities and facilities which were directly involved in orchestrating and executing the cold-blooded killings of Pakistani civilians and those carrying out terrorist attacks inside Pakistan. Pakistan also sustained an abnormal and immediate spike in Indian-sponsored terrorism across Khyber Pakhtunkhwa and Balochistan, while its armed forces were busy in operations on the Eastern Front. This further vindicates that India is directly involved in fomenting terrorism in Pakistan, and its proxies were fully operationalized during this time to distract our attention. The resilient armed forces of Pakistan carried out most effective counter-terrorism operations in the western region without any pause, simultaneously with the conduct of Operation Bunyan Marsoos. Marka-e-Haq has been a great example of the synergy between all elements of national power, with overwhelming support of the Pakistani public to effectively counter the threat to our national sovereignty and territorial integrity. No one should doubt that whenever Pakistan's sovereignty is threatened and territorial integrity violated, the retributive response will be comprehensive and decisive. Pakistan Armed Forces thank and salute the Pakistani nation for its courage, resilience, and fervor during this conflict. They plan and Allah plans, and Allah is the best planner. Pakistan Zindabad, Afwaje Pakistan, Pak-India. Rafi.
Thank you so much, Fahad Ahmed Missan, for giving us the updates on the official reports that are coming in of the heavy damages that Pakistan has inflicted on towards India.